This is Jeopardy!
Where do we begin, player one? Lenin led this majority revolutionary faction to power in the October Revolution. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Player one. Following the establishment of a dictatorship, Lenin changed his political party's name to this. It's player one. Right you are. We return to you, player one. Forbes magazine has estimated that this comic book boy is worth $24.7 billion. It's player one. No. Oh! Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is Richie Rich. Player one. Pick again. Haddonfield in this eastern state was the site of the first nearly complete dinosaur found, a Hadrosaurus. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Select again. Answer, it's the Daily Double. And you have the lead. Decide on your wager, player one. And the clue. Next to the marathon, it's the longest running event in the Summer Olympics. However, you keep your lead. Here's the correct response. The 10,000 meters. You again, player one. Norway's Andreas Thorkildsen won a 2008 gold medal by throwing this 90.57 meters. Okay, player one. You are correct. Player one. The only event the Time Almanac has listed under the heading 4.5 billion BC is this formed. Okay, player one. Yes. Player one, choose again. It's the medium on which you're traveling if you're in a hoy. Player one. Right. Select again. On a snail, an omatophore is a stalk with this at the end. Player one. No, that's not right. Anyone else? Yes, player three? Yes. Player three, you start us off. If you set some Chinese punk on fire, it's because Chinese punk is this, from the Latin for set on fire. Yes, player one? That's right, way to go. Player one, a shako is a stiff cylindrical one of these worn by soldiers. It's player one. No. Anyone else? Here's what we wanted. A hat. Player 1, back to you for our next. In Samuel 28, the prophet Samuel appears to King Saul and predicts his defeat by this group. Yes, Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, Player 2. Right. Player 2, you start us off. For his subversive activities, Lenin was banished to this region in 1897. Player 1? Good. Player 1, you start us off. Deuteronomy may mean second law, but it's this number book of the Old Testament. Yes, Player 1? Correct. You again, Player 1. According to the Bible, she was not only Abraham's wife, she was also his half-sister. Let's hear it, Player 1. No, that's not right. Any other takers? It's Player 3. No, sorry. Any other takers? Yes, Player 2. Good for you. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we... If you've got quinsy, also known as tonsillitis, you've got swelling in this part of your body. Player 1? Good. Where do we begin, Player 1? Jacob and this other twin son of Rebekah even struggled against each other in their mother's womb. Let's hear it, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Esau. Player 1, back to you. This book says Noah's Ark was 300 cubits in length, making it about 500 feet long. It's Player 1. Good for you. Player 1, back to you. After Lenin's death in 1924, this man began purging rivals and eventually took over the top spot. Okay, Player 1. Yeah! Select again. This eccentric billionaire formed an aircraft company in 1934 to design racers. Player 1? That's correct. Player 1. Pick again. According to its website, this chain serves more than 1 billion finger-licking good chicken dinners annually. Okay, Player 1. You are correct. Select again. You might have to get as high as 20 feet off the ground to win a medal in this field event. It's Player 1. Oh! Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. The pole vault. Player 1, choose again. The Triceratops found in this state's Black Hills won official fossil status. Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else? Player 2. Good. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 2, make a... Montana's state fossil, the Maiasaura, had this type of mouth, like the platypus. Let's hear it, Player 1. You are correct. Player 1, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. The teeth from Maryland's Astrodon were cut open in 1858 and revealed this pattern, hence its name. Okay, Player 1. That is correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. All right, here with the clue is Jimmy.
Abraham Lincoln began appearing on billions and billions of pennies in this year, the 100th anniversary of his birth.
Player 1. That's correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Sarah will present this clue.
Led by Angel de Maria, this South American powerhouse won its second consecutive gold in men's soccer at the 2008 Games.
Okay, Player 1. That's right. Way to go. We return to you, Player 1. In the Olympic 400-meter relay final, this many runners compete together as a team. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Saurophaganax was named this state's official fossil in 2000, and you can see one at the Sam Noble Museum in Norman. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. Lenin returned to Russia from Europe following the overthrow of the Tsar in this year. Player 1? Yes. Player 3, you're going first in the Double Jeopardy round when we return. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 3, make us from the color of a penny. This term for something trivial often follows the words, not worth a... Let's hear it, Player 1. That's it. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1 of Duddy Kravitz. It's Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's the response we were looking for. The Apprenticeship of Young Werther. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. Player 1. Picking of Henry Adams. It's Player 1. No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 2. Right. Player 2, you start us off. Of Edwin Drood. Player 1? Yeah! All right, of Nat Turner. Player 1? Yes. Player 1. Pick again. The U.S. merchant ship Mayaguez was seized by Cambodian forces. U.S. forces rescued the crew of 39. Okay, Player 1? No, that's not right. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about Gerald Ford. Select again. The Alien and Sedition Acts were adopted by Congress. Player 1? Right. Player 1, choose again. Let's take it over to Kelly.
He was president in 1906 when he proclaimed Devil's Tower in Wyoming the first national monument.
Let's hear it, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the response we were looking for. Theodore Roosevelt. Player 1, back to you. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. And you're in the lead now. How much are you going to wager, Player 1? Here is your daily double clue. The name of this red-haired denizen of Borneo's rainforests is Malay for forest man. Congratulations, you're still in first, Player 1. We return to you, Player 1. Noted for its strength, this breed of horse was named for a school teacher. Player 1? Oh, sorry. Anyone else? Here's what we were looking for. Morgan. Player 1, back to you. In 1991, this Texan and his firefighting team extinguished more than 100 oil well fires in Kuwait. Yes, Player 1? Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's Player 3. That is correct. Good. Back on the plus side. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 3. Make us. The website of this brand of candy, similar to Twizzlers, said it's a favorite of Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt. Yes, Player 1? You are correct. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, this sitcom's Niles. I have a session with my multiple personality. Player 1? Right. Please pick again, Player 1. Its name comes from Greek words meaning nose-horned. It's Player 1. Right. You get to pick You'll get an A for effort for knowing the name of this mammal comes from Afrikaans for earth pig. Okay, Player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Any other takers? It's Player 2. Yeah, good. Player 2, where do we start? And here's Sarah.
This large, partly white seabird derives its name in part from the Latin word for white.
Player 1? You are correct. Player 1, where do we start? One of the many supporting folks on this animated show, student Ralph Wiggum, said, "Me fail English? That's unpossible." It's Player 1. Right. Select again. Randy, Crabman, and Willie, the one-eyed mailman, supported this NBC show. Yes, Player 1? Yep. We return to you, Player 1. The Molly Pitcher Inn is a delightful waterfront hotel in this New Jersey town? It's player one. Oh! That's incorrect. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Red Bank. Select again. Glands on a bee's abdomen convert the sugar in honey to this building material. Player one? Yeah! We return to you, player one. Rock me, Ann B. Davis. Ms. D played housekeeper Alice Nelson on this sitcom from 1969 to 1974. Let's hear it, player one. Yes! Player one. Picking. On this sitcom, Oscar Nunez is Oscar, Creed Bratton is Creed, Angela Kinsey is Angela, and Rainn Wilson is Dwight. Okay, player one. You got it. Please pick again, player one. Drones don't sting, and queens only sting other queens. So only worry about these bees, 95% of a hive's population. It's player one. That's correct. Player one. Pick again. Yeah! The second daily double. You are currently in the lead. Player one, give us a wager. And the clue. A major concern for beekeepers is CCD, this disorder. That puts you even further ahead. Player one, you pick again, please. This term for a group of bees refers specifically to the group that flies from the hive to form a new colony. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Player one, you pick again, please. E.T. the Extraterrestrial was released, grossing more than $300 million that year. Okay, player one. Yep. Player one, back to you for our next selection. She brushed up her Shakespeare in 2011, starring in one film by the bard, Coriolanus, and one film about him, Anonymous. Yes, player one? Very good. Select again. Honey is produced by the evaporation of this drink of the gods that bees collect from flowers and then regurgitate. Yes, player one? That's right. Way to go. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. The Telstar communications satellite relayed the first live TV pictures from the United States to Europe. Okay, player one. That is correct. You all move on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. We've got the Final Jeopardy round here for you, and today it features this category: literary characters. So, what's your wager? The Final Jeopardy clue is as follows. This hero is the son of Ecthio and the grandson of Hrethel. And your response? And that will set you back Did you come up with the correct response? And that will lose you. Did you come up with the correct response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? Congratulations, Player One. You're the winner. We'll see you all next time.